movement changes that I won't call a nerf or a buff until I've tried it out for myself, but I'll ask the same question from over 2 months ago. When is this going to get patched? Hey guys, Nightfall here, and if you're a little confused by the intro, let me explain a bit before we dive into these juicy patch notes. A couple of months ago, they first introduced the crouch and jump spam penalties in the form of aim sway, which you can see here that I'm not getting any at all while I've been crouching for a long time. And no, this clip isn't from before that patch. Shortly after that patch, I actually found out that by holding down the left stick, or whatever option you have binded to hold your breath when you're sniping, you end up negating any aim sway penalty while crouch spamming. I don't know why this works, but it does. Now, like I've mentioned in multiple previous videos, I don't know if there's something similar for jumping, but the left stick thing does not work for that. You still get the sway for jump spamming. I wouldn't doubt it though if there was something that I'm not aware of. I have submitted this bug to the official bug reporter, mentioned it several times in their Discord, tweeted multiple people on Twitter, and 2 months later and it's still not patched. So I guess until it is, you'll just see me crouch spamming my life away, getting free kills, because the patch today did nothing with crouching. Anyway, let's get into these patch notes. Up front, I am recording this before playing any of the new content, so I have yet to play with these patches, so I may have an updated video out later today or tomorrow on this. Also, let me just say one thing I love about patch notes and companies is that it's not all formal, it's fun. And I'm glad that they do it this way to try to make it funny and lighthearted, like this first line. Since humans first hopped, some among them thought they should not. It's funny, and they try to keep a divisive topic lighthearted and easy to relay to the players without people getting up in arms about silly things. So good for them. This first big block of text just says, if you spam your jumps less than 1.25 seconds apart, you'll get the max sway penalty on the fourth jump. And now that we know the exact time in between the jumps, I think a better thing to do with this is lower it to the max sway on the third jump, but also lower the time between those jumps as to not trigger it as frequently when just moving around normally. But again, I'll reserve judgment until I actually play with this new patch. This next big block of text can be summed up by saying, you jump once, you reach 70% of max height, you jump a second time, presumably within that 1.25 second span we talked about, you now only hit 49% of your max height, you jump a third time, and it's now down to 34%, and then every jump after the third will also be 34%. Curious thing about this is, why is the first jump 70%? Are they also nerfing how high we jump? Surely they can't do that, as it would mess up other things in the game like mantling things and stuff, right? Or maybe I'm just misunderstanding this, not entirely sure, but it's strange nonetheless. They also reduced air strafing speeds by 25% and jump speed by 10%. The air strafing I've seen a lot of people complain about, but I don't really see it that often. I guess if maybe you like slide one way then move back the other way mid-jump. I do see that often. In fact, I use that quite often, so guess I'll have to wait and see how that feels after this. Now, before I continue, the really odd part about all of this that I briefly mentioned in the intro is it seems like they forgot about the crouch. The whole initial patch was jump and crouch spam, and since then, it's just forget about the crouch spamming. Let's just stop the jump spam. Kind of weird, but all right, let's keep moving on. They reduced the animation speeds as well of all the movements, so from crouch to stand, stand to jump, vice versa. Then really quickly, there was a couple map fixes, one on Daytona where there was a wall you could shoot through that now you can't shoot through. And then on Echelon HQ, there was apparently a rail where if you stood on it, you had connection issues, which is wild to me. How does something like that even happen? But now let's get into the really juicy stuff, the rank changes. They finally gave us ability restrictions for ranked, meaning no more going against 4 phantoms all running shields. Now you can only face a max of 2 phantoms and only one of them will have the shield. Of course, the other one still has the riot shield, and I absolutely love this change. Hopefully this makes ranked playable now and actually brings people back. They also made it so you get more points per win, approximately 30% more than before, And it also looks like they made it so you lose less, but made it very hard to understand and then translated it so then it's only hard to understand instead of very hard to understand. I have no idea what it's trying to say, but from what I can gather is you lose less sometimes, I guess. And then they even made it so you don't lose any RP and bronze anymore. But then here's the part that doesn't make any sense. To discourage people from leaving, instead of just giving us the leave penalties where if you leave a game, you can't matchmake for a certain period of time, and that penalty keeps stacking the more frequently you leave games, they just made it so you lose 10 more RP, so now it's 50 instead of 40. But with the previous changes we just read, you can make it back easily the next game instead of wasting your time in a game you're probably not going to win, which is why you're leaving anyway, if you're facing a bunch of sweats or smurfs. 40 to 50 is a 25% increase in points that you would lose, but if you gain 30% more when you win, it kind of balances itself out and makes losing more RP pointless for those trying to leave early. Increasing the amount of RP lost isn't going to stop people from leaving games early. It's one-sided, unfair games against Smurfs that people leave and don't want to play. So maybe fix that next, yeah? Then to round out the patch notes, they fixed 2 ranked issues. One where it was preventing ranked players from matchmaking in the ranked lobby, which kind of just sounds like they couldn't play ranked at all. And then another where people were able to invite others that were outside of the matchmaking restrictions, meaning all of those guys who stopped smurfing didn't do so because they finally grew a conscience and realized it was breaking TOS. They just figured out this exploit, so they had one person get on a smurf and invite other 3 main accounts and then just terrorize the lower ranks on their main accounts while stomping on silvers. Fun stuff. And then some miscellaneous stuff fixed that's here every time, like graphical and audio. I don't think they ever really fix anything with this. They just kind of throw this in every patch whether they do or don't. So overall first impressions, the movement stuff sounds interesting. The ranked stuff is just a bunch of fodder to hold us over, and I don't think we'll actually fix ranked or make it playable again. The only thing that will do that is bringing more players back, which hopefully adding the skill limit will do that. But yeah, like I said, I might have more feedback on this once I get the chance to play it. But after all of these patch notes, there's still one question that remains. Where is Search and Destroy? Or as they'll call it in this game, Bomb. There have been rumors circulating that it's been pushed back to Season 2, but we haven't really gotten any official word yet. And with only about 4 weeks left now in Season 1, those rumors probably aren't wrong, but still it would be nice to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Also, just a quick note that there is a bundle available in the store right now that supports a good charity called the 4 Alarm Bundle, and it supports direct relief, and it says all proceeds from this bundle support disaster relief. And for those that don't know, direct relief is a charity that helps out people that have lost their homes or things in a wildfire, hurricanes, some kind of natural disaster. So it's a really good cause to support. Also, if you don't have either Kersey or DeRosa unlocked, buying this bundle will in fact unlock them. So go ahead, support an awesome cause. And speaking of charities, I'll be having my charity event sometime next month for StackUp. If you want to check out what they do, you can head on over to stackup.org. But they're basically a military veteran charity that supports veterans of US and Allied Forces military. They do a lot of cool stuff with gaming, so I can't wait to have that stream. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and have your notifications turned on over there as well as over here, so you never miss an update on what's going on with that. Let me know what you think about this patch and also the lack of mention of any new game modes or even customs for that matter. And friendly reminder that I'll be live again on Friday night right here on my YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern time. If anyone wants to come hang out, play some XDefiant with me, or just chill and talk about the game, feel free to do that, and I'll catch you in the next one.